Everybody from Goss Stadium of Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Javon Grossman, Brian Thomas, and our whole crew tonight. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to Game 2 of the 3-game West Coast League South Division Series between the playoff-bound Corvallis Knights and the front-running Portland Pickles, who set a record for most wins ever in a West Coast League season last night in a 15-7 win over the Knights. The games are inconsequential from a playoff positioning standpoint, but not, as you'll hear in our pregame conversation, from the perspective of Trey Swigert, one of the Knights' key players this summer, and from his teammates, who I know that Trey is speaking on their behalf in the conversation that I was honored to enjoy a little while ago on this pleasant, breezy, warm, but not by any stretch what we're used to hot August nights. Not the case here. It is very pleasant, mid-70s, heading to potential for rain tomorrow. But it's a perfect night for baseball tonight, and we're glad you've joined us. The Knights and Pickles, and a bit of a precursor to a big game perhaps next Tuesday at Walker Stadium at Lentz Park in Portland. Up next, Trey Swigert, who knows of Portland, a two-way player for the Pilots out of Middleton, Idaho. It's been a pleasure to meet his folks, Brian and Jessica, this year, his grandparents, and I think you will enjoy the conversation with a talented, competitive young man, pitcher, third baseman, first baseman, hitter. Trey Swigert joins me after this 2-minute break ahead of the Knights and Pickles on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Game 2 of their 3-game series. I'm joined by Trey Swigert, who's had, I think, a tremendous summer, both as a hitter, as a pitcher. Trey, it's great to have you on the pregame show. How have you felt about how your summer's gone?
Great. Filling up the zone, try to get good ABs and be selective, and I feel like I am just working hard to be my best self every day, and it's been going well.
Have you enjoyed being a Corvallis Knight? What's the experience been like? Beyond just what you're doing on the field, what's the experience been like?
Yeah, it's something I've never experienced before. They treat us very well. It's not as laid back as any team I've been on. We get after it, and I really like the competitiveness of this team.
In that light, Trey, these games, quite honestly, the next couple of games here, you want to win, you're always out to play to win. They're not quite as important in that playoff positioning settled. So how do you view it that way at all, or do you feel like, no, we want to go beat those guys tonight and get this series even?
Yeah, I attack every game the same, always trying to win. Everything's better when you win, so I do my best job to give our team a chance to win every day.
Trey Swigert joining me. Trey, tell me a little bit about your spring in Portland, what you did, how you felt about that, and just sort of taking from that, what you've been wanting to do and work on this summer.
I had a great spring, started a little slow at the beginning. I didn't play a ton, and then finally worked my way into the lineup and started producing right away. Ended up finishing really well. First team all freshman and second team PG All-American freshman, two-way. And so, I mean, I had a better season than I could have ever dreamed of. So bringing that here, I've just been working on hitting and being a little bit more selective and trying to drive pitches, try to get more extra base hits, more home runs, and just get a lot stronger this summer.
How did the opportunity with the Pilots come about for you out of Middleton, Idaho, a town I'd never heard of until I met you and your family? Tell me a little bit of how the opportunity in Portland came about.
I went to Tacoma, Washington, and played a showcase tournament and did really well. I played 2 really good games at third base, hit 3 or 4 homers in the tournament, and hopped on a call with them, and then ended up taking a visit. And, I mean, they blew me out of the water when I went there. Gorgeous campus, and gave me a great offer, and loved the coaches, and I felt like I was really wanted there, so it felt like a great spot for me.
You mentioned third base. What ultimately do you feel? I mean, you're a two-way player. What ultimately, when you're not pitching, is your best, you think, and most best position for you that you enjoy the most?
Probably first base. It's way easier than third base, that's for sure, and I like it a lot. I feel like I can just kind of relax over there and make the plays I need and then be ready to hit. That's what I like about first base.
You have a fast, quick, and powerful bat. Tell me a little bit about just your development as a hitter, where that bat speed and power has come from through your life.
You know, I never had quick bat speed until this past spring, and I think it was just because getting on a college weight program, getting way bigger and quicker and twitchier, and I feel like that just kind of came from the new stance I have. I changed most of my swing last year, and I feel like getting a lot of lateral movement and those hips into the swing, my hands have become a lot quicker.
Who initiated the change? Was it Coach Loomis? Was it yourself studying video, your dad? I mean, how did you come about a stance and approach change?
Yeah, it was mostly me and Loomis and Jake Holcroft just working together as a trio and trying a bunch of stuff, and ultimately we ended up doing that swing I have now.
What about, I mentioned your dad, he's got to be your first coach in life in the game of baseball and a very good baseball man. How much does he continue to impact your life?
He's definitely the biggest impact I've had on baseball. Got me into it, got me way better. A lot of players with dads as their coaches struggle, and me and him have always just been in sync and never butted heads, and he's helped me more than he knows. I mean, everything.
It's been great to have him, see him around. I've met him and your mom and your grandparents. It sounds like they've really embraced this experience too. Do you get that sense that they're kind of following every game, even if they're not here?
Yeah, I mean, I have people text me from Middleton and hometown people always watching every game I play, and it's unbelievable the amount of supporters I have, and I love it. We are a complete baseball family.
The final thing, and that is the chance to win a championship here, and how big, how important that is to you and the guys to finish this thing the right way.
Yeah, it's hugely important for me, and I know it is for the team. It's just a big thing, and I think we have a great shot to do it this year, and all the guys are syncing up, and we're ready to go. Definitely should have a good chance.
We look forward to it, Trav. Enjoyed watching you pitch and hit and do all the things you do. Thanks for taking time. It's been fun to meet you and your family. Thanks for sharing your experience with me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
That's Trey Swigert, my guest. We've got the first pitch just around the corner. The Knights and Portland Pickles coming up on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Number 30, Cooper.
Make sure you're in here and you
Leading things off for the Pickles, number 23, Josh Schleicher.
we go. Game 2 in a very exciting night for Cooper Udishtu on a 75-degree Tuesday evening. Udishtu with a cheering section to my left delivers the first pitch to Josh Schleicher, produces a ground ball to third, fielded by our pregame show guest Trey Swigert, who throws across the diamond. As Robert Wool says in Bull Durham, easy game. Nice, easy game. Easy game. Nice and easy does it every time. One pitch, one out.
Number 52,
And Ellie Kligman, the batter. Ellie has had quite a circuitous route in his baseball career. Out of Cimarron Memorial High School. Has been to Wake Forest to begin his collegiate career, then to Fullerton College, and to Sacramento State, and now to the University of Michigan. Good for him. Ellie takes low and inside, ball 1-0. Just getting underway under the 75-degree sun, a little bit breezy, winds blowing out towards left center field. The 1-0 pitch hit foul off third, and Trey Swigert didn't give chase, and I'm not sure why. He may have lost it coming off the bat. He would really have had to work to get to it, but Trey is now, after the fact, indicating that he didn't see the ball coming off. And that has to be the only explanation for a hard-working, competitive kid not making a furious effort to get over near the screen and try to make a play. The count even, 1-1 to Ellie Kligman from Cooper Udishtu, an incoming freshman at Lynn Benton Community College. A ground ball towards Swigert in foul territory. Backhanded back of third. The count 1-2 with the Corvallis Knights and Portland Pickles in games that, quite honestly, it's a difficult balance in terms of trying to save arm, save pitching. This is part of the reason Cooper Udishtu is making his first appearance with the Knights. An incoming freshman at Lynn Benton Community College throws a breaking ball pulled foul by Kligman. A couple of things. The Knights have some pitchers that are ailing just a bit, trying to rest them and get them ready for the second season, which begins Friday in the postseason. Now, the Knights are all in and trying to win, but there isn't, in a very real sense, a lot to play for in terms of stakes. The pitch on the way hit foul by Ellie Kligman off to the left and out of play. Waldo away. 1-2 the count. But this gives Cooper Udishtu an opportunity to pitch in front of his folks, Carla and Mike, who are here. Cooper out of Grant High School in Northeast Portland. One of his coaches at Grant, Brendan Norick, is here cheering him on. Breaking ball in the turf, and the count goes to 2-2 to Ellie Kligman. Let's take a look at the lineup for Mark Magdaleno's West Coast League champion Portland Pickles and record-setting Portland Pickles with their 43 victories, the most ever in a single season in the WCL's impressive history going back to 2005. A new baseball will be put in play, and we carry on with a count of 2-2 to Ellie Kligman. Schleichart, the left fielder, grounded out on the game's first pitch. The catcher, Ellie Kligman, with a count of 2-2. Evan McGuire at third base on deck. Batting third, Braden Woolridge, the cleanup hitter in center. The 2-2 pitch misses, ball 3 to Kligman. Brett Williams batting fifth, the designated hitter. Luis Castillo hitting sixth at first base. Lance Kreisberg batting seventh in right field. 3-2 pitch misses for ball 4. A one-out walk to Ellie Kligman. Evan McGuire, the hitter. Zane Garvey hitting eighth at shortstop. Graydon Stroop batting ninth at second base. And Julius Christensen getting the start for the Portland Pickles. The Pickles have sewn up home field advantage. They did that in the first half by winning the first half race. And they will have the best overall record in the entire 17-team league as well, and thus would be at home for a divisional championship game and a West Coast League championship game against the winner of the North, should they get that far. Evan McGuire taking a first pitch strike from Cooper Udishtu. Cooper comes back and is in the zone again and ahead of the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Just getting underway, a one-out walk to Ellie Kligman. A throw over to first base. Maverick Russell holding Kligman on, and Ellie gets back. Cooper Udishtu and Ian Fernandez, the Knights battery. Russell at first, Thomas Ferrajaro at second, Blake Wilson at short, Trey Swigert at third, with Brooks Avery in left, Brock Kettleson in center, Cole Katayama Stahl in right. The 1-2 pitch, or 0-2 pitch, pardon me, just misses to run the count to 1-2 to the right-hand hitting Evan McGuire out of Clark Community College, where he played for Coach Magdaleno this past spring. Union High School in Vancouver graduate. A throw to first base, back to the bag goes Ellie Kligman. And speaking of high schools, it's a Raiders versus Spartans night here at the ballpark, and some classic Spartans are here. There may be some Raiders too, but the people I ran into before the game, some big names in the history of CHS in the ballpark tonight, situated just a little bit below the McGrath family press box. And down and a ways to my left, another throw to first, and Kligman back to the bag. Evan McGuire with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Has a look down at his third base coach. And steps back in with a count of 1-2. A line drive caught by Maverick Russell, steps on the bag at first, and the inning is over. A line drive double play unassisted, and a standing ovation from the Udishtu family to my left. Supporters coming down from Grant High School territory and led by Mom Carla and Dad Mike Udishtu. And their son faces the minimum. We go to the bottom of the first in front of the distinguished guests from CHS. I'll try to name a few of them when we go to the bottom of the first inning. For the Portland Pickles, no runs, no hits, and nobody left. To the bottom of the first we go. The Corvallis Knights and Pickles in Game 2 of the series. Portland nothing. The Knights coming up back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Sydney.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
The first inning, the Knights hoping to get going against left-hander Julius Christensen, whose first pitch to Blake Wilson misses a bit high, ball one. 1-0, Julius Christensen, 5'11", 170-pound southpaw from Camas. The pitch to Blake swung on and missed. The count 1-1. Blake Wilson leading off for the Knights at shortstop. Brock Kettleson on deck in center field. Thomas Ferragaro batting third at second base. The 1-1 pitch from Julius misses high and away. Ball two, 2-1. Maverick Russell, the cleanup hitter at first base. Trey Swigert batting fifth at third. Cole Katayama Stahl hitting sixth in right. The 2-1 pitch just misses inside to Blake. Ball three, 3-1. Antonio Castro batting seventh, the designated hitter. Ian Fernandez hitting eighth and catching. Brooks Avery batting ninth at short. Wilson takes the 3-1 pitch inside. Ball four. Didn't miss by much on the last couple of pitches, but a good job by Blake to coax ball four, and the Knights trying to get this series even. They didn't like the feel of last night by any means, losing big 15-7. Hudson Boucher is the home plate umpire tonight, with Jacob Fisher on the bases. Boucher with a rather tight zone, and Jacob enabling Blake Wilson because of that to draw the walk. Now a pop-up foul off third. Evan McGuire comes over a little bit late. Good hustle by Ellie Kligman, who slides in front of the Knights dugout with no help, of course, from the Knights. Neither able to catch up with a foul ball. But it appears as though it's difficult for the third baseman in the bright sunlight to see the ball coming off the bat, because neither made what I would call a quick or efficient break to try to catch the foul ball. The Knights' Trey Swigert really didn't move at all, and McGuire was late to move towards the Knights dugout. A toss to first, and Blake Wilson back to the bag. Out of the stretch works the left-hander Christensen, and he comes inside and I think hit Kettleson, and let's hope Brock's going to be okay. He got hit in the right hand. And the one thing you'd hate to see for anybody ever, but particularly coming down the stretch of what has been a great summer for Brock Kettleson, an incoming freshman at Stanford, to have anything go awry from an injury standpoint. He gets down to first. He points to his right hand while conversing with Knights first base coach Spencer Scott. Michaela came to the top steps but stays within the Knights dugout. And it appears as though Brock, tough and talented kid, is going to be all right. But that stung, you could tell by the way he reacted. Blake Wilson at second, Brock Kettleson at first. Thomas Ferragaro, the switch hitter, the batter. Thomas takes a strike. The count 0-1. Julius Christensen and Ellie Kligman, the battery for the Pickles. 2 on and nobody out. Thomas not bunting and takes down and away. 1-1 the count, and the not bunting is an indication again, I think, of Brooks' approach a little bit different than what he would normally do in a game, again, that is not rife with meaning with respect to any kind of playoff jockeying or positioning. All of that has been settled. The pitch to Thomas Ferragaro, a strike. But Thomas would normally be bunting in a situation such as this. Thomas takes outside, and that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 on and nobody out in the bottom of the first inning. Luis Castillo, the first baseman for the Pickles. Graydon Stroop at second. Zane Garvey at short. Evan McGuire at third. Josh Schleichard in left, Braden Wooldridge in center, Lance Kreisberg in right. The 2-2 pitch fouled at the plate. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the first inning. The Knights led early last night 2-0. It was rather short-lived, and they ended up falling 15-7. The 2-2 pitch to Thomas backs him off just inside, ball 3, 3-2. Maverick Russell, the on-deck hitter. We'll see about Brook turning the runners loose. Blake Wilson at second base, Brock Kettleson at first. They do not go. The 3-2 pitch, a grounder to third. McGuire steps on third, throws to second, and it's in time for the double play. A 5-4 double play ball. And that will bring to the plate Maverick Russell. And once again, the Portland Pickles seem to have an answer as they've had all summer long. They get in a little bit of trouble, and they find their way out of it. A ball without the runners going, without the bunt being put on, all of that results then in a 5-4 double play. Maverick Russell, the batter, with Ferragamo aboard at first. Maverick swings and drills it into right field for a base hit. Maverick is swinging a hot bat. Ferragamo will go to third. The baseball comes back in to Zane Garvey, the shortstop. Runners at the corners, 2 down for Trey Swigert coming to the plate. Maverick has really been swinging it well down the stretch, making consistent, hard contact. And that is a good sign heading into the second season, which begins on Friday. Maverick has steadily been bringing his batting average up, and he's flirting with .250 now as he gets his lead from first, held on by Luis Castillo. Trey Swigert takes low and inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Swigert was a really enjoyable young man to visit with, as I did in my pregame show. He's the Knights team leader in hitting at .345. The 1-0 pitch to Trey, high and away, ball 2, 2-0. Trey, .345, 2 homers, 18 runs batted in, and on the mound in 13 2/3 innings has only allowed 1 run. He has been an outstanding two-way player for the Knights throughout the summer. The 2-0 pitch just does catch the outside corner to Trey. 2-1 the count with Thomas Ferragamo at third and Maverick Russell at first. 2 down. The toss to first base drives Maverick Russell back to the bag. Brook Knight, the skipper, coaching at third base. He's in his 17th year. Spencer Scott in his first. Coaching at first base. Ferragamo gets his lead from third. Maverick Russell from first. The 2-1 pitch, fastball up and away to Trey. Ball 3, 3-1. Cole Katayama Stahl on deck. The Knights have been a very productive club, but just to give you an idea of how good Portland has been, they come in with a team batting average of .299. There goes Russell, and no throw down to second base. The pitch was low and inside anyway for ball 4. Maverick running on a 3-1 count. Swigert draws the walk. 3 free passes in the inning, and yet the Knights haven't cashed in a run yet. Cole Katayama Stahl hopes the operative word is yet as he comes to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 down. Ellie Kligman out for a conversation with his battery mate Julius Christensen. Cole Katayama Stahl climbing in with the bases loaded. The Knights as a team at .271. Again, the Pickles at .299. The Pickles have blasted 48 homers on the season. The Knights 24. But all of those things won't mean a whole heck of a lot if the Knights are able, if they meet again in Portland next Tuesday and win. Cole Katayama Stahl taking the first pitch from Julius Christensen outside. The 1-0 pitch from the lefty is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cole Katayama Stahl. Bases loaded, 2 down. Bottom of the first, no score. The 1-1 pitch on the outside corner, strike two. That raises the hackles of some of the fans in the vicinity back of the plate. Knights fans. Thomas Ferraggiaro at third, Maverick Russell at second, Trey Swigert at first. The 1-2 pitch is way outside to Cole. Ball two. 2-2. Katayama Stahl at 265 with a homer and 15 runs batted in. 2-2 the count. The southpaw Julius Christensen set, delivers, hooked to deep right field. Back on the ball goes Kreisberg. He'll play it on a hop near the warning track. 2 runs will score. A double for Cole Katayama Stahl, and the Knights lead it 2-0. Thomas Ferraggiaro and Maverick Russell coming home. Trey Swigert into third. A 2-run double for Cole, and the Knights do take advantage of the largesse of the southpaw Julius Christensen in the form of a 2-out, 2-run double, bringing Antonio Castro, the designated hitter, to the plate. And a chance for the Knights really to do some big damage in the first. They've scored 2. They have runners at second and third and 2 out, looking for another 2-out hit and a 4-run lead. Castro takes a fastball for a strike, the count 0-1. I mentioned the Corvallis High School Spartan grads in the house, and there are plenty, I'm sure, for both CV and CHS. But Bob and Peggy Gilder and Sally Ball and Vicky Valente, all class of 1969, all here in the ballpark, sitting together tonight and looking on this pleasant Tuesday evening, and happy that the Knights jump out to the 2-0 lead. 1-1 to Antonio Castro, second and third, 2 down. The 1-1 pitch misses just inside. 2 balls and a strike to Antonio, with Trey Swigert at third, Cole Katayama Stahl at second. The regular season concludes here tomorrow night at 6:35. Castro, a good swing. Right on it, fouls it straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Also in the house tonight, it was great to see Sydney Pointer and her mom, Vicky. Sydney, the creator of MLBs.com. She tells me that tonight at AAA, Wade Meckler is playing center field for his AAA club, and Jacob Melton playing center field for his, as they battle one another. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out, 2 in. Bottom of the first inning. The 2-2 pitch to Castro, fouled straight back. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ian Fernandez on deck. The left-hander Julius Christensen settles in, delivers, and misses away with a breaking ball. Ball 3, 3-2. A walk, a hit batter, a double play ball, a base hit, a walk, a 2-run double. Now a 3-2 count to Antonio Castro. Christensen to the plate, and an off-speed pitch. Antonio timed it just to get a piece of it and stay alive. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Julius Christensen getting the start, and again in a game not rife with meaning for either club. But again, from a psychological standpoint, the Pickles, who've won every game between the two teams this year, trying to continue having hand in the series. A high pop-up with the wind pushing it near the rim at second base. Graydon Stroop stays with it, although the ball pushed on him a bit to make the catch and end the inning. But the Knights take advantage of a little wildness from Julius Christensen and get 2 runs in the inning, and 2 wit in terms of the game and the inexperience involved. The Knights watching Cooper Udishtu make his debut. Christensen, making just his 3rd appearance, has only worked an inning and a third. The Knights get 2. We go to the second. Corvallis 2 and Portland nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Second inning, 2-0 Knights. Cooper Udishtu, the pride of Grant High School, goes to work on Braden Woolridge and starts Braden with a strike. Braden out of Chino Hills and competing at UC Davis. Good ball player. The strike one pitch misses outside and the count 1-1. Now in our program issued, and I asked Griffin Williams, one of the coaches, yesterday, and he said, no, that's a typo that Braden is at UC Davis. A one-hopper up the middle, fielded in shallow center by second baseman Thomas Ferraggiaro. No play, and Woolridge is aboard with a leadoff single. Our program says, under Braden Woolridge's name, as a pitcher, 6 foot, 175 pounder, school, Oregon State, it says. Now, I made several inquiries, didn't talk to Braden himself or Oregon State coach Mitch Canham, but I don't believe that's accurate. I think he is still at UC Davis. A chopper to short, charged by Blake Wilson, tried to short hop it. The ball goes off his glove, and everybody's safe. Braden Woolridge goes into second. Brett Williams getting the infield single. No error charged by the official scorekeeper, Brooks Hatch. Tough play and a bit of a tricky hop for Blake to deal with. Now an error, it does go up on the board, so I'll put E-6 instead of just -6. Now the Knights with a chance for a double play. A chopper to third, and Trey Swigert throws to first. I'm not sure what Trey was thinking there, but he should have gone to third and stepped on the bag, then given himself a chance maybe to get the double play at first base, but he doesn't get the lead runner and create a first and second one-out situation. So Luis Castillo, on an ill-advised decision by Trey Swigert, gets the runners moved into scoring position. Breaking ball strike to Lance Kreisberg, 0-1 the count. It seemed as though, because he was a little off the bag, there was some hesitation on Trey's part whether to go around the horn. That would have been a better chance at a double play ball. Stepping on third and throwing to first, I think, would have been his best attack there to get the lead runner. But as it is, Braden Woolridge into third, Brett Williams to second. Kreisberg takes low and away. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 pitch pulled foul outside of third against Cooper Udishtu, and the count goes to 1-2. Cooper, the PIL Pitcher of the Year at Grant High School, and on his way to play for Petey at Lynn Benton Community College. Good for him. And making his Knights debut tonight, has a 2-0 lead. The tying runs in scoring position. Breaking ball foul back. The count remains 1-2 to Lance Kreisberg. Lance, 6'1", 190-pound right-handed hitter out of Tigard, competing at Chemeketa Community College, and trying to get the Portland Pickles even here in the second inning. Pitch is a wild one off of the heel of the mid of Ian Fernandez, and down the line to score from third is Braden Woolridge on the wild pitch. Now the Knights 2 and the Pickles 1, underscoring again why it would have been better to get that lead runner at third. Into third base goes Brett Williams, and the Pickles with an opportunity to get the ball game even with an out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Knights play their infield at normal depth. Cooper delivers, fastball, swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. Nice job by Cooper. Thrust into an interesting role. And
Now batting, number 25.
I met Cooper before the ball game down in the Knights dugout. He had just arrived, and so when Michaela asked Cooper where Trey Swigert was as I was seeking Trey out for our pregame interview, the first pitch is in there for a strike to the left-hand hitting Zane Garvey. Michaela asked if he knew where Trey Swigert was, and he said, I don't know who he is, and I have no idea. The strike one pitch hits Zane Garvey. Zane, a left-handed hitter, trots down to first. And that'll put runners at the corners with 2 down. The Knights leading 2-1. Zane out of Southridge High School and competing at Western Oregon led the Wolves in hitting this past spring at .333 and got hit by 13 pitches. So that's a thing for him. He gets hit here with 2 down. Graydon Stroop, the batter. Out of the stretch works Cooper Udishtu and comes to the plate. A late break. Fernandez throws. The Knights are trying to get a tag, but they don't, and the tying run scores on the double steal. And Zane Garvey got himself in a rundown, beautifully executed on his part, and allows Brett Williams to come down the line to score the unearned run and pull the game even. Now, Knights fans were cheering the execution of the rundown to get an out, but the Pickles with a win in that exchange, inducing the throw from Ian Fernandez. And Blake Wilson running back at the runner, Zane Garvey. Never even looked towards the plate and was intent on trying to win a foot race, get Garvey tagged out. And while doing so, Brett Williams down the line to score the tying run. Interesting inning to be sure. We go to the bottom of the second. It's the Pickles 2 and the Knights 2 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Tie back at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field as we go to the bottom of the second. Ian Fernandez jumps on the first pitch from left-hander Julius Christensen and drives it with power to the gap into right center. Lance Kreisberg tries to slide into the ball and keep Fernandez to a long single. The ball kind of kicked away from Lance, and Fernandez cruises into second with a leadoff double. Brooks Avery, the batter with the Knights, trying to right themselves and quickly regain the lead. Good swing for Fernandez. Hitting behind the ball and driving it with authority the opposite way. 284 on the year, 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. Brooks Avery at the plate takes ball 1, 1-0. A 2-2 tie, bottom of the second inning. Left-hander Julius Christensen with a spot start in these final games of the regular season, which have no effect or bearing at all on the playoff positioning. Christensen getting a opportunity in a good setting here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field before a good crowd. Tomorrow we'll see the regular season come to an end. The pitch missing to Brooks, ball 2, 2-0. Christensen back to the plate and misses again. 3 balls and no strikes. Julius attends Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin. That's a Division III school. The 3-0 pitch is inside for ball 4. Brooks Avery drawing a 4-pitch walk. Blake Wilson, who walked last inning, will be the batter for the Knights in this 2-2 tie. Mark Magdaleno is on his way out to the mound, and in a game that kind of feels like it's being treated in the old parlance of the opener, at least in the case of left-hander Julius Christensen. Julius will come out, issuing his third walk of the game. He's also hit a batter. The Knights have runners at first and second and nobody out, and a new pitcher coming in for the Portland Pickles. We'll take a 2-minute pitching change break and be back. It's the Knights 2 and the Portland Pickles 2 in the bottom of the second inning. 2 on, nobody out. The new pitcher coming in, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Recognize some people from Crescent Valley High School and Corvallis High School for their achievements this year. Winning state champions, cheer and boys swimming from Crescent Valley High School. Their volleyball team also placed second at state. The girls cross country state champion was from Crescent Valley High School, Emily Wisniewski. The boys tennis state champion was Richard Wayne. For Crescent Valley, the boys wrestling 126-pound division state champion was Colton Hankey. The Mid-11 girls golf district champion Hannah Rivers and Kira Lynn were both on Crescent Valley High School roster. Then for Corvallis High School, boys golf, they were state champions. Jennifer Russell was the girls wrestling 150-pound division state champion, and their volleyball team placed fourth at state. Let's give a hand for Corvallis and Crescent Valley High School.
Hale, who pitched last night briefly, comes into the ball game now for the Portland Pickles in the bottom of the second inning. In a 2-2 tie, the Knights have runners at first and second and nobody out. Blake Wilson, the batter. We'll see now if Brooke is more on his usual game and asking Blake to bunt, and he does ask, and Blake gets down a good bunt. Connor Hale fields cleanly and throws the ball by his first baseman Luis Castillo, and everybody's safe. A sacrifice for Blake Wilson. An error will be charged probably to Connor Hale, although it appeared to be catchable, but the throw did pull Castillo off the bag a bit. And that loads the bases for Brock Kettleson in this 2-2 tie here in the bottom of the second inning. Connor Hale out of Newburgh High School and Warner Pacific, making his second appearance in the series. Bases loaded, nobody out, a 2-2 tie. Connor delivers. Kettleson a chopper towards the second baseman. Stroop, his only play is to first. He gets Brock Kettleson, but on the play, Ian Fernandez down the line to score, and the Knights regain the lead at 3-2 on Brock Kettleson's RBI groundout. On the play, Brooks Avery into third, Blake Wilson to second, Thomas Ferraggiaro, who grounded into a double play in the first inning, will be the hitter. The Knights left 2 on in scoring position last inning. Have a chance now to add to their lead. Ferraggiaro turns around to bat now from the left side against the right-hander Connor Hale and takes outside, ball 1, 1-0. 3-2 Knights. A fly ball to shallow left field. Josh Schleichert lets the ball land in front of him. He must have lost it in the sun, and the Knights are going to get 2 runs. Brooks Avery scores. Right behind him is Blake Wilson to score. Good base running on the part of the 2 speedsters, Brooks Avery and Blake Wilson. And the Knights lead it 5-2 on a bloop single to left by Thomas Ferraggiaro. Tough sun tonight. We've seen third baseman, the third sackers for both clubs, react slowly to pop fouls hit to the left. And that little pop fly gave the left fielder Schleichart trouble. And the Knights have taken advantage of it and lead it 5-2. The pitch to Maverick Russell, taken for ball 1, 1-0. Maverick a solid single to right last inning and scored a run. 5-2 Knights, bottom of the second inning. Schleichart shielding the sun with his glove, with Connor Hale coming to the plate, delivering a strike. 1-1 the count. Brock Kettleson trotting down towards the Corvallis Knights bullpen. The Knights 2 in the first. They've scored 3 here in the second. Breaking ball from Hale misses up and away. Ball 2, 2-1. Bend and Cowlitz playing tonight over at Vince Guinness Stadium. They had a fireworks show last night before a crowd of over 2,000. Ferraggiaro goes. The pitch is low. The throw to second, not in time. Good slide. Ferraggiaro sliding to the outside of the bag away from the tag attempt of Zane Garvey. And Thomas is in with a stolen base. That's a $40 contribution to Community Outreach Inc. from our friends at Papay Material Handling. $20. The Corvallis Knights match that for every stolen base the Knights have achieved this summer. $40. Papay Material Handling, keeping you moving one step closer to home through Community Outreach Inc. Russell strokes a hard line drive to right. Caught by Lance Kreisberg. And holding at second base is Thomas Ferraggiaro. Again, another strong piece of hitting by Maverick. His bat has come to life just in terms of the way the ball's been jumping off of it here down the stretch. Solid single to right in the first, and while he's an out here in the second, he stoned that ball as well. 2 down. Trey Swigert, who walked in the first inning at the plate. The Knights leading 5-2. Connor Hale comes set. The right-hander out of Newburgh High School delivers a breaking ball. Up and in, ball 1, 1-0. Cole Katayama Stahl, who had a 2-run double last inning, on deck. Thomas Ferraggiaro at second, 2 down, 3 runs in the inning. Hale delivers a breaking ball in there for a strike. The count 1-1. If Ben beats Cowlitz tonight, that settles the playoff positioning in the South Division and settles the 1 through 4 seeds. Portland 1, the Knights 2, Ben 3, and Marion 4th. Swigert, a high drive to deep center. Braden Woolridge twisting and turning, going back, still going back, reaches up and makes the catch on the warning track in straightaway center field. Good job by Braden to stay with the high drive to straightaway center. But the Knights get 3 runs in the inning and regain the lead. We are through 2. It's the Corvallis Knights 5, the Portland Pickles 2. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Stroop, I think I've been calling him Graydon. My sincere apologies. Grafton Stroop, first ball swinging. A line drive base hit to center field to lead things off with the Pickles in the third, with the Knights leading 5-2. The first pitch delivered by Cooper Udishtu. Josh Schleichart, the hitter, unless there's someone else stepping in here. Stroop with a base hit, and it looks as though the Pickles have somebody else up. It's Xavier Gilmore. Xavier, I believe he goes by. At least I was told by Coach Williams that he doesn't pronounce the X. So Xavier Williams at the plate. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes the count. 5-2 Knights in the top of the third inning. Udishtu to the plate. A fly ball to shallow left field. It's trouble racing over and playing it on a hop. Brooks Avery. And into second base goes Grafton Stroop on the bloop single to left by Xavier Williams here in the third. And that'll bring to the plate Ellie Kligman, who walked in the first. And the Pickles coming right back. Hector Infante coaching at third. Grant Heisinger coaching at first. Mark Magdaleno calling the offense within the dugout on the first base side. 2 on and nobody out. Out of the stretch works Cooper Udishtu, and he shows bunt, does Kligman, and gets a good one down. Fernandez thought about third. Instead fires to Ferraggiaro at second for the force. For the out on Kligman. The sacrifice works. 2-4 to Ferraggiaro covering on the play. Grafton Stroop into third. Josh Schleichert hit for by Xavier Williams. Williams goes into second. And Evan McGuire, the hitter, with the Pickles trying to come right back. Cooper Udishtu faced the minimum in the first inning. The Knights scored 2 runs. The Pickles pulled even, and now the pitch to McGuire blasted to left and gone. And the game is tied at 5 as the Pickles continue to do what they've done all summer. Pound the baseball and dominate. And the game is tied at 5. A 3-run home run for Evan McGuire. That's the 49th home run of the season for the Portland Pickles, the first for McGuire. And it comes here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field to settle the crowd down a bit. Get the Pickles fired up. I mean, that's all they've been doing this summer is winning. It's been an impressive run, to be sure. They come in with a record of 43-9, the best record in WCL history. A fly ball to center field. Brock Kettleson moves back to make the catch on the fly ball off the bat of Braden Woolridge. 2 down. But impressive work on the part of the Portland Pickles. Down 2-0. Score 2 to tie. Down 5-2. Quickly score 3 to tie. A 5-5 tie. Brett Williams, an infield single and scored a run last inning. Steps in against Cooper Udishtu. Cooper turns his back on home plate for a moment. Now steps back on the rubber, delivers, and throws a first pitch strike to Brett Williams. 0-1 the count. Brett Williams competing at St. Mary's College from Carlsbad in Southern California. The strike 1 pitch to Brett in there for strike 2. And a physics major and a catcher. Got a little Mo Berg in him. The strike 2 pitch, breaking ball up. The count 1-2. I don't know how many languages Brett Williams speaks. But Mo Berg, the subject of Nicholas Davidov's fine book and an okay movie. The catcher was a spy. The 1-2 fastball just outside, ball 2. 2-2. I think Paul Rudd plays Mo Berg. Not a bad film. Interesting story, to be sure. One of the more interesting and intriguing and unlikely stories in baseball history. And we have a physics major catcher here swinging at a 2-2 breaking ball. A high pop fly to shallow left field. Brooks Avery is there to make the catch. And the inning is over. However, the Portland Pickles get 3 in a hurry. 2 singles, a sacrifice, and a 3-run home run. And at the end of 2.5, Portland 5, the Knights 5. back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Families and friends, thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Doesn't have to break the bank. 80% of Oregonians received financial assistance through OregonHealthcare.gov last year, and you might qualify too. At OregonHealthcare.gov, you can explore quality health plans from trusted insurers and find one that fits your budget and your needs. Our plans are built with you in mind, so you can compare prices and benefits, no sales tactics included. We're here to get you covered, Oregon.
Holman Field, Knights baseball presented by Best Western Corvallis, the official hotel partner of your Corvallis Knights. When you come to Corvallis for a Knights game or whatever brings you here, we hope you'll consider Best Western Corvallis, the largest hotel rooms in the city, an outdoor heated pool, and close to the ballpark. Wherever life takes you, Best Western is there. 5-5. Bottom of the third. Connor Hale ready to go to Cole Katayama Stahl, who banged a 2-run double down the right field line in the first. Cole takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Connor works out of the stretch with nobody on. The 0-1 pitch on the way, pulled sharply by the diving Luis Castillo into right field, base hit. Katayama Stahl, a leadoff single. He too has been putting some charges into baseballs coming down the stretch of this summer of 2025. The batter is Antonio Castro, the designated hitter. And we'll see what Brooke wants Antonio to do. And Antonio bunts and bunts foul off his front foot. No balls and 1 strike to Antonio, who popped out in the first inning. 5-5, bottom of the third. After the Pickles won handily last night, 15-7, to set the new wins record. Connor Hale turns and throws to first. Katayama Stahl back. 43-9, 2 games left in the regular season tonight and tomorrow. An off day Thursday. The playoffs begin on Friday. Ground ball to second. Stroop goes to Garvey for 1. And Zane on to first for the double play. 2 down. Ian Fernandez, who doubled to right and scored last inning, will come to the plate. And all of these things, the gaudiness of the record, Portland could sweep the series and finish 45-9. That's wholly impressive, to be sure. But it's the team that manages. If they play again 1 week from tonight, they would play at beautiful Walker Stadium at Lentz Park for the winner-take-all South Division champion. Both teams would have work to do before getting there, but it would be the winner of that game. In a sense, that's all that would really matter. Fernandez takes a strike, the count 0-1, and the Pickles and Knights know that right well. The strike 1 pitch to Ian misses down and away. 1-1 the count. Nevertheless, it's very impressive what the Pickles have done all summer, what they've done here in Corvallis. The Knights haven't beaten Portland this year. 0-4 on appeal on a 1-1 pitch. Swing, says the first base umpire, Jacob Fisher, and the count to Ian 1-2 against Connor Hale. 2 outs, nobody on, and a 5-5 tie in the bottom of the third. Connor from the stretch comes to the plate. Breaking ball got him swinging, and the inning is over. A leadoff single, but a double play ball erases that, and Connor Hale faces the minimum. We are through 3 innings in this penultimate game in the 2025 regular season. The Pickles 5, the Knights 5, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Health insurance doesn't have to break the bank. 80% of Oregonians received financial assistance through OregonHealthcare.gov last year, and you might qualify too. At OregonHealthcare.gov, you can explore quality health plans from trusted insurers and find one that fits your budget and your needs. Our plans are built with you in mind, so you can compare prices and benefits, no sales tactics included. We're here to get you covered, Oregon.
Innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Portland Pickles 5 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. The Corvallis Knights 5 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Cooper Udishtu in his Knights debut and spot start certainly has done a good job. He delivers to Luis Castillo, who hits a fly ball to center field. Brock Kettleson lays out, thought that he was going to make the catch, and again in a rarity, and it seems to only be happening against the Pickles. Kettleson does not hold on. He dives, had the ball in his glove, but when he hit the turf, the ball popped out. It's a base hit for Luis Castillo to lead matters off here in the top of the 4th. All summer long, we've seen Kettleson make that play and even tougher ones. But the last couple of nights, the Knights are not getting their usual play. Now here's a chopper to Ferraggiaro, right near the bag, steps on second and throws to first to get Lance Kreisberg. That's a little more like what we've seen from the Knights all summer. A 4-3 double play. 2 pitches in the inning and 2 outs. And Zane Garvey, if he has his wits about him, will take a first pitch. Garvey was hit by a pitch in the second inning, then got himself caught in a rundown, enabling the tying run to score. He does take a strike in the count 0-1. 2 outs, nobody on, and there's 5-5 tie in the top of the 4th. Zane Garvey, left-handed hitter, takes a fastball away. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. The 1-1 pitch swung out and missed by Zane, and the count goes to 1-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Cooper Udishtu ready and comes to the plate in the turf. Udishtu and Ian Fernandez the battery. Maverick Russell at first, Thomas Ferraggiaro at second, Blake Wilson at short, Trey Swigert at third. Brooks Avery in left, Brock Kettleson in center, Cole Katayama Stahl in right. The 2-2 pitch, a ground ball towards shallow right where Thomas Ferraggiaro is positioned. Thomas fields and throws to first, and that's that for the Pickles in the 4th. Cooper Udishtu faces the minimum thanks to the double play ball turned by the Knights. No runs, a hit, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th on a breezy, pleasant evening here in the Mid-Valley. It's the Pickles 5 and the Knights 5. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
A 5-5 tie in the bottom of the fourth inning. Brooks Avery will lead things off for the Corvallis Knights against the right-hander Connor Hale. Connor delivers and bounces the first pitch breaking ball. Ball one, 1-0. Hale, who came on in the second inning, working here in the bottom of the fourth of a 5-5 tie, delivers to Brooks, a ground ball to short. Zane Garvey throws to first in time. A little bit high, but Luis Castillo able to go up on his tippy toes and maintain contact with the bag for the out. Castillo using all of that 6'5" frame, a young man out of Santo Domingo of the Dominican Republic, and getting ready to attend Arkansas Little Rock. Avery retired, one away. And that'll bring to the plate Blake Wilson. Brooks Avery, University of Portland bound. Fastball in there for a strike to Blake. 0-1 the count. Blake has walked, had a sacrifice, and got a board on a throwing error and scored one of the Knights' 3 runs in the second inning. We're tied at 5 in the bottom of the fourth. Blake reaches out and hits a line drive base hit into center field. Braden Wooldridge plays the ball on a couple of hops. A one-out single for Blake Wilson. Brock Kettleson will be the hitter. Brock has been hit by a pitch and had an RBI ground out. I would expect Blake to try to run here. He's 15 for 17 in steals. Brock Kettleson likely to take a pitch to give Blake that opportunity. Connor Hale comes to the stretch. Luis Castillo holding Blake on. Fastball inside to Brock Kettleson. Ball one, 1-0. A 5-5 tie in the bottom of the fourth. Hale and Ellie Kligman the battery for the Pickles. The 1-0 pitch to Kettleson hit high in the air to center field and playable. Braden Wooldridge is right there and makes the catch. One away. Thomas Ferraggiaro will be the batter. Thomas has grounded into a double play, scored a run, 5-4 double play ball, and then drove in 2 runs in the second with a bloop single to left. With 2 down, I fully expect Blake to be looking for a pitch to run on to try to get in scoring position for Thomas, who has been hot down the stretch himself. Both of these teams, the top 2 teams in the league, have played extremely well all summer. The Pickles on the highest level of all at 43-9. A throw to first. I think Brooke Knight believes that Connor Hale is balking, that his move to first is a balk. And I if that's the argument, and I think Brooke is onto something. Both times, couple of different times I've seen Hale throw over, he does appear to be making a move towards the plate first before turning and throwing. And I think that's what Brooke is asking the home plate umpire Hudson Boucher to consider. That, at least I think, is the nature of the conversation, because it struck me as a little unorthodox. Connor Hale comes set. Blake Wilson gets his lead, doesn't go. The pitch to Ferraggiaro is high, ball one. Thomas starting the night at 305, and with his 2 runs batted in tonight, now has 32, with Maddox Risky ailing a little bit. Kettleson has taken over the team lead in RBI, something that Risky held most of the season. Ferraggiaro swings and hits one foul to the left and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike the count in this 5-5 tie in the bottom of the 4th inning. Out of the stretch works Connor Hale. Blake Wilson has yet to take off on him. I think he will soon. The 1-1 fastball in there for a strike. Being held on by Castillo. Now he goes. The 1-2 pitch is foul back. He had a good jump. He would have had the bag stolen easily, but with 2 strikes, Ferraggiaro needs to protect the plate. The Knights team leader in RBIs coming down the stretch, getting hot. Hopes to keep things going for the Knights here in the 4th. With Connor Hale and Ellie Kligman working to try to get him out and end the 4th. Another throw to first, and Hale driving Blake Wilson back. Hale and Kligman the battery. Luis Castillo at first. Grafton Stroop at second base. Zane Garvey at short. Evan McGuire at third. Xavier Williams in left. Braden Woolridge in center. And Lance Kreisberg in right. And again, a throw to first base. I think it's the front leg that Brooke Knight believes is the culprit here in terms of the first movement. Seems to be a little bit towards the plate. Ground ball to second, scooped up on 1 hop by Grafton Stroop, pardon me, and he throws to first to get Ferraggiaro. And the Knights are done in the 4th inning. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. Good work by Connor Hale out of the bullpen. And Cooper Udishtu continues on the mound as we go to the 5th. The Pickles 5 and the Knights 5 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Fifth inning, a 5-5 tie. Grafton Stroop leading things off for the Portland Pickles, taking a first pitch strike. The 0-1 pitch missing to Grafton. Now the 1-1 pitch from Cooper Udishtu, who's gone all the way, misses high, ball 2. Grafton single to center field to spark a 3-run rally for the Portland Pickles to tie in the 5th. He pulls one back at first, right at Maverick Russell. Maverick takes it to the bag himself. 1 away in the top of the 5th inning, and that'll bring Xavier Wilson to the plate. Xavier came on for Josh Schleichert in the 3rd inning, and he singled to left field and scored a run. 5-5, top of the 5th. Cooper Udishtu to the plate, and Cooper delivers a strike. 0-1 the count. Cowlitz and Ben going at it tonight. If Ben wins, that means the Knights have a trip to Ben coming up on Friday. A line drive base hit to right field. Cole Katayama Stahl playing the sharply hit ball on one hop off the bat of Xavier Williams. And that'll bring Ellie Kligman to the plate. And I say Xavier Williams, and I've got him confused with Brett Williams. Xavier Gilmore, pardon me. So Xavier Gilmore, a one-out single. And the pitch on the way to Ellie Kligman, a high pop-up on the right side. Knights second baseman Thomas Ferragero makes the catch. Kligman first ball swinging. And Evan McGuire, who turned this game around with one big swing, comes to the plate. Xavier Gilmore out of Washougal and attends an NAIA school, Viterbo College, a private Catholic school in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Began his career at Clark College, now at Viterbo. I've never seen it before until writing down the name as I did yesterday, so my apologies about Williams, where I came up with that. Again, it's just it's a complete unknown, for reasons unknown, a complete unknown. Conflating Dylan and Brandon Flowers. The runner goes, the pitch is high, the throw to second, not in time. A stolen base for Xavier Gilmore. The count 1-1 to Evan McGuire in this 5-5 tie. Brooke Knight disagrees with the call and lets his opinion be known to Jacob Fisher, the base umpire. Brooke thinks that balks have been missed. He thinks that call was missed on the good throw by Ian Fernandez. But Fisher seemed to be making the argument that the slide, the ball may have beaten Fisher, but the slide by Jacob got him in safely and under. Meanwhile, the count 1-1 to Evan McGuire. Ben Crockett, sitting to my left, was telling me about an NAIA school, LSU Shreveport, this year, that went 59-0 and won the championship. I would imagine so. If you don't lose a game, you probably end up being the champion of whatever division you're in. McGuire pulls one foul outside of third, and the count 1-2. LSU Shreveport, an NAIA school, went 59-0. That's a pretty good year at any level. 5-5, top of the fifth. The go-ahead run at second with two down, represented by Xavier Gilmore. The pitch to McGuire, tap foul at the plate. The count remains 1-2. McGuire jumped on a first pitch in the third and hammered it over the 14-foot fence and left. A 3-run blast to get the Pickles even at 5. That's where you are in the fifth, the 5-5 tie. Gilmore to the plate, another chopper foul, and the count remains 1-2. Good work tonight by right-hander Cooper Udishtu in his Knights debut, picking up some slack with the Knights resting some arms and a couple of arms down with a little bit of soreness. He's done an excellent job. Evan McGuire, a ground ball to second, fielded by Thomas Ferragero. Thomas throws to first to retire the side. Connor Hale has pitched very well for the Portland Pickles. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It remains the Knights 5, the Pickles 5, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
doesn't have to break the bank. 80% of Oregonians received financial assistance through OregonHealthcare.gov last year, and you might qualify too. At OregonHealthcare.gov, you can explore quality health plans from trusted insurers and find one that fits your budget and your needs. Our plans are built with you in mind, so you can compare prices and benefits, no sales tactics included. We're here to get you covered, Oregon.
Russell leads things off for the Knights in this 5-5 tie in the bottom of the 5th inning. Connor Hale to the plate. Maverick takes inside. Maverick has stroked a solid single to right, scored a run, then lined out, hitting the ball with even greater exit velo for an out in the second. The 1-0 pitch from Hale, a check swing, tapper by Brooke Knight. The count 1-1 to Maverick Russell. Maverick will be followed by Trey Swigert and then Cole Katayama Stahl. 5-5 in the bottom of the 5th. Meanwhile, in Bend, a tight ball game. The Elks leading Cowlitz 4-3 in the bottom of the 4th. If Bend wins, then it's off to Bend on Friday in Game 1 of the best-of-3 divisional series. The pitch to Russell, a strike. The count 1-2. The Pickles would travel to Salem, to Chemeketa Community College, to take on Marion in the first of the best-of-3 series. The series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if necessary, with an off day Monday, and then the South Division Championship game with the winners squaring off on Tuesday. In Bend, if Bend defeats the Knights. The 2-2 pitch on the way to Maverick Russell, a chopper up along third, foul. The Knights, if they defeat Bend and Marion would somehow upend and upset the high-riding Portland Pickles, then the Knights would host Marion a week from tonight for the South Division title. The expected scenario, again, in baseball you don't know nothing, but the expected scenario would be the Knights to travel to Portland, Walker Stadium at Lentz Park. The pitch to Russell, another base hit just over the glove of Luis Castillo and down the right field line, retrieved by Lance Kreisberg. Maverick Russell continuing to swing a potent bat, a leadoff single here in the 5th. Trey Swigert will be the batter, has walked and flied to center. That is the expected outcome, but baseball being such a difficult, exacting game, one never knows. But if it is Portland and the Knights, it would be a week from tonight in Southeast Portland, Walker Stadium at Lentz Park, and it would be a winner-take-all for the South Division title. The pitch on the way to Trey, a strike, 0-1 the count. 5-5 in this penultimate regular season game. It doesn't mean anything with respect to postseason positioning. The strike one pitch down and in. The only thing to be settled now is whom the Pickles and Knights will play in the first round. And there may indeed be a huge rematch for the two teams for the South Division title in Portland this year. Last year it was here, and the Pickles prevailed 4-1. The 1-1 pitch, Swigert jammed a high pop-up to straightaway center field. Trey upset, kind of slams the bat down as he heads up the line at first. Center fielder Braden Wooldridge makes the catch. One away, Cole Katayama Stahl to the plate. Knights baseball presented by Oregon State Credit Union. You can join online at OregonStateCU.com or one of their 15 branches to experience the full financial services of Oregon State Credit Union. OregonStateCU.com. Pay them a visit. 15 branches in Western or Central Oregon. And they were the sponsor of our sellout this year, the fireworks night, the only one of the season back on July 3rd. And big crowd here, as always. A great night sponsored by our friends at Oregon State Credit Union again this season. Katayama Stahl 2 for 2. Doubled home 2 runs in the first, single to right in the third. Pulls one foul here in the bottom of the 5th of a 5-5 tie. Maverick Russell, the go-ahead run at first. Connor Hale spins in a breaking ball strike and is quickly ahead to Cole 0-2. Antonio Castro on deck. Fan appreciation night here tomorrow, 6:35. Hope to see you one more time in the regular season with a guarantee of at least one more game. Connor Hale again throws over to first. Brook, between innings, was trying to demonstrate, it appeared to me, to home plate umpire Hudson Boucher what he thought was a balk move on Hale's part. The pitch to Katayama Stahl, lined into center field, base hit. He's 3 for 3. Stopping at second base is Maverick Russell, and Antonio Castro coming to the plate. Katayama Stahl starting the night at 265. A solid 3 for 3 tonight. Castro has popped to second and grounded into a double play. 5-5, bottom of the 5th inning. Maverick Russell at second, Cole Katayama Stahl at first, 1 out. Antonio takes a fastball for a strike from Connor Hale. 0-1 the count. I visited with Kelsey Herco, the general manager of the Bend Elks, earlier today, somewhat in anticipation of a trip there Friday. She said the weather's been beautiful, that they have been blessed with some great weather and not dealing with as much smoke as they have in the past several summers. A high pop fly, the infield fly rule is invoked. Grafton Stroop is there to make the catch. 2 down, Ian Fernandez to the plate. Ian has doubled to right and struck out. Connor Hale doing an excellent job. He came on back in the 2nd inning. The Knights broke a 2-2 tie with 3 runs in the bottom of the 2nd. But a 3-run home run off the bat of Evan McGuire pulled the Pickles even in the ensuing half inning. And here we are, still tied at 5 in the bottom of the 5th. The first pitch missing to Fernandez. 1 ball and no strikes. Ian swings a high drive to deep left. Back on the ball, though, and getting under it is Xavier Gilmore to make the catch. And the inning is over. The Knights are gone in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. We go to the 6th. Cooper Udishtu has done an outstanding job in his debut and spot start, eating up a lot of innings for the Knights. He's back on the bump as we go to the 6th. Portland 5, the Knights 5, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Sixth inning, a 5-5 tie. The Knights and the Portland Pickles. Braden Wooldridge has had an infield single and fly to center. He steps in against Knights starter Cooper Udishtu, who's gone all the way. Ground ball to second. Expedient hop for the second baseman Thomas Ferrajaro, who throws out Braden Woolridge. One pitch, one gone. And Brett Williams, the designated hitter, to the plate. Brett, an infield single in the second, stole home. And a nice job of base running by Zane Garvey to get in a rundown in a first and third situation. That pulled the Pickles into a 2-2 tie, and then the 3-run home run by Evan McGuire took the score from 5-2 Knights to 5-5 in the third. We're in the sixth, still tied at 5. Brett Williams takes a strike. Udishtu back to the plate and misses just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Cooper has gone all the way with family and friends in attendance. Delivers a ground ball to second. Ferrajaro looks it in and throws to first, and quickly 2 down in the top of the 6th inning. They're in the top of the 5th in Bend. The Elks still leading Cowlitz 4-3. If Bend wins, we'll see you Friday over at Vince Guenna Stadium in beautiful Central Oregon. It would be my one and only trip over there this summer. The Knights played earlier there this summer while I was still involved with Oregon State baseball. And speaking of Oregon State, Gavin Turley making his professional debut tonight, as reported on to me by Sydney Pointer, MLBeavs.com. Thank you, Sydney. Some other baseball news regarding former Beavers tonight. The first pitch swung on and missed by the right-hand hitter Luis Castillo. The 0-1 pitch to Luis, taken inside, the count 1-1. Castillo, a big man out of Santo Domingo of the Dominican Republic, committed to Western Oklahoma State out of college. Went to Lakeway Christian Academy in White Pine, Tennessee, and now on his way to the University of Arkansas, Little Rock. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luis, who's grounded to third and single to center. Punches one in the air to shallow right. Ferrajaro goes out. Cole Katayama Stahl comes in. Cole makes the catch, and Cooper Udishtu gets a standing ovation from some of the Grant contingent as he retires the side in order for the Pickles in the 6th. Great outing for Cooper. Probably his final inning of work, and a tremendous job that he's done. Cooper Udishtu doing an outstanding job. Connor Hale goes back to the bump as we go to the bottom of the 6th. The other news I'll share when we go to the bottom half regarding former Beavers in pro ball. A 5-5 tie to the bottom of the 6th back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Doesn't have to break the bank. 80% of Oregonians received financial assistance through OregonHealthcare.gov last year, and you might qualify too. At OregonHealthcare.gov, you can explore quality health plans from trusted insurers and find one that fits your budget and your needs. Our plans are built with you in mind, so you can compare prices and benefits, no sales tactics included. We're here to get you covered, Oregon.
The 6th inning, a 5-5 tie. Sydney Pointer coming up to add a little information. Gavin Turley making his pro debut tonight with the Stockton Ports. We're tied at 5-5 here in the bottom of the 6th, the Knights and the Pickles. Connor Hale has done an outstanding job since coming into the ball game in the 2nd inning. He works Brooks Avery down and away, ball 1-0. Hale back to the plate, the 1-0 pitch, a fly ball to shallow center field. Braden Woolridge is right there to make the catch. 1 away, and Blake Wilson will come to the plate. How about this, Oregon State baseball fans? Iva Arquette making his pro debut tonight and joining the Marlins High A affiliate in Beloit, Garrett Forrester and Micah McDowell. Now, Iva never played with Garrett or Micah here, but they have that great Beaver connection. 3 Beavers in the lineup tonight for Beloit, the Marlins High A club. Iva Arquette, Garrett Forrester, and Micah McDowell. Thank you again, Sydney, for the great notifications about all the former Beaver players. The pitch to Blake Wilson missing. The 1-0 offering down and away from Hale. Ball 2, 2-0. 5-5. Bottom of the 6th inning. Blake has been aboard on an error. Sacrifice, scored a run, single to center. The 2-0 pitch, a line drive to center field. This will get down for a base hit in front of Wooldridge. Solid single to center for Blake Wilson with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Brock Kettleson, the batter. I suspect that Blake will be again trying to run here. He singled to center field in the 4th, and that was my anticipation. He never did. And we'll see now if Brooke Knight may be of a little bit more of an aggressive mindset this late. Bottom of the 6th, 5-5 tie. Wilson held on by Luis Castillo. A throw to first, and again Blake back. The move must be according to Hoyle. And Brooke has talked to home plate umpire Hudson Boucher about it, or as Phil Harris would say, that fellow Hoyle. A throw to first and Blake back. In a song that was redone by Jerry Reed, and some of the language of the title song changed to the Uptown Poker Club from the Phil Harris tune from back in the day, when I think Phil referred to that fellow Hoyle. So the move according to Hudson Boucher is, according to Hoyle, another throw to first. And a balk has not been called, nor will it be now, because the move has been consistent on the part of Connor Hale. If a balk ends up getting called, Mark Magdaleno would have something to say about that, because it would be the same move all evening long. Hale delivers a soft line drive into center field, base hit off the bat of Brock Kettleson. Blake Wilson stops at second, back-to-back singles to center. And the batter will be Thomas Ferraggiaro in this 5-5 tie in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Pickles have a right-hander throwing. Ferraggiaro has grounded into a double play and scored a run. He's singled home 2 runs and grounded to second. 2 on, 1 out, 5-5, bottom of the 6th for Ferraggiaro. Connor Hale set, delivers, and misses away. Ball 1, 1-0. A right-hander, Colby Rice, not throwing but stretching his right arm out. A throw to second base goes into center field. Blake Wilson goes to third. Kettleson slides safely into second. A throwing error on the part of Connor Hale, and the Knights in business now here in the bottom of the 6th. Blake Wilson at third, Brock Kettleson at second. Thomas Ferraggiaro, who has overtaken the injured Maddox Risky to assume the Knights' lead in RBIs, has a chance for at least one more here with a scoring fly ball. Perhaps a base hit would produce 2. Thomas takes outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 5-5, bottom of the 6th inning. The series finale tomorrow night at 6:35. And then the Knights in the playoffs for an 18th consecutive summer beginning Friday. The 2-0 pitch outside. The count 2-1. The Knights and Pickles have some postseason history. In 2018, the Pickles' first year, the Knights won the series 2-0, and then back-to-back meetings for the South Division title 2 summers ago and last summer. The Knights winning in 23 here, 4-1. The Pickles returned the favor last summer here with a 4-1 win. And that ended the Knights' reign, 7 consecutive years of West Coast League championships. The 3-0 pitch to Ferrajaro, a strike. 3-1 the count. 5-5, bottom of the sixth. Thomas, a fly ball to left. Making the catch, Xavier Gilmore. Wilson tags and will score on the sacrifice fly by Thomas Ferrajaro. The Knights regain the lead at 6-5. The Pickles will appeal at third that Wilson left too soon. Home plate umpire Hudson Boucher gives the safe sign. Thomas Ferrajaro with his third run batted in. Wilson's speed enabling him to score without a play. Kettleson holding at second. 2 down. Maverick Russell, the batter. Maverick has singled to right, lined out to right, singled to right again. 6-5 Knights in the bottom of the sixth. Maverick trying to add to the Knights' advantage. Kettleson inches away from second. A ground ball back up the middle into center field. Base hit. Brock Kettleson on his way to the plate. He will score. Maverick Russell stays hot, and the Knights lead it 7-5. Boy, Maverick is really swinging a potent bat. Just the sound of the contact, the consistency of it. Good work on the part of Maverick Russell, who is 3 for 4, and the out was probably his hardest hit ball. The speedsters scoring. Blake Wilson on the sacrifice fly for Ferrajaro. Brock Kettleson on the base hit up the middle off the bat of Maverick Russell. And now Trey Swigert steps in and takes a strike. 7-5 Knights in the sixth. The Knights have had leads. They hope this one holds. Last night a 2-0 lead turned into a 15-7 defeat. Tonight up 2-0, caught at 2, up 5-2, caught at 5. And the Knights are hoping this latest lead will hold up. 7-5 in the bottom of the sixth. Swigert takes high and away. 1-1 the count from Connor Hale. Colby Rice has been throwing in the bullpen for the Portland Pickles. The 1-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Christian Scholl, the pitching coach, running the pitching for the outstanding head coach Mark Magdaleno. Now they've got another pitcher up, Tyler Tilton. The pitch to Swigert misses high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs in for the Knights in the bottom of the sixth to regain the lead. Connor Hale comes set, a short lead at first from Maverick Russell. Swigert takes, fastball knee high, strike 3 called to retire the side. But the Knights get 2 and regain the lead. Sacrifice fly for Thomas Ferrajaro and an RBI single from Maverick Russell. And Cooper will continue on the bump. Cooper Udishtu has gone all the way and he returns to the hill. Still out there, still in there pitching as we go to the 7th. The Knights 7 and Portland 5 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Health insurance doesn't have to break the bank. 80% of Oregonians received financial assistance through OregonHealthcare.gov last year, and you might qualify too. At OregonHealthcare.gov, you can explore quality health plans from trusted insurers and find one that fits your budget and your needs. Our plans are built with you in mind, so you can compare prices and benefits, no sales tactics included. We're here to get you covered, Oregon.
11 hits and 1 error. Portland 5 runs, 6 hits and 2 errors. Right-hander Cooper Udishtu goes to work. Oh, what's that? Cooper Udishtu's part. Young man out of Grant High School and getting ready to pitch for LB, and Petey's going to have himself a good one. Over at Lynn Benton Community College, Griffin Williams has been coaching with Petey the last 3 years. Griffin, one of the assistants for the Pickles, on his way to Loyola Marymount. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Lance Kreisberg goes down swinging. 1 gone. 6 straight retired by Cooper Udishtu. He's got a 7-5 lead here in the 7th. Zane Garvey, the hitter. Zane has been hit by a pitch and grounded to second. He swings and lashes one toward the gap in right center field, but Brock Kettleson moves over quickly to grab it. 2 down. Good swing by Zane Garvey. Hard contact for an out. 2 down in the 7th. Grafton Stroop, the batter. Grafton singled and scored in the 3rd, grounded out to first in the 5th. We're in the 7th, 7-5 Knights. Cooper Udishtu and Ian Fernandez, the battery. Cooper to the plate and misses inside, ball 1. Around the infield, Maverick Russell at first, Thomas Ferrajaro at second, Blake Wilson at short, Trey Swigert at third. With Brooks Avery in left, Brock Kettleson in center, Cole Katayama Stahl in right. The 1-0 pitch, up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Grafton Stroop. 6 in a row set down by Knights spot starter Cooper Udishtu. The 2-0 pitch, a ground ball up the middle to the right of Ferrajaro. Backhands. Had a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove. He throws to first, not nearly in time, but a good effort by Thomas up the middle. Even if he'd transferred quickly, it was going to be close, and it probably would have been a base hit for Stroop. Grafton gets his second hit, and with 2 down, Xavier Gilmore, the batter. Xavier in the 3rd inning singled to left and scored a run, then singled to right and stole a base in the 5th. He swings and gets another base hit. His 3rd in 3 at-bats. Rounding second on his way to 3rd is Grafton Stroop, and the throw on 1 hop from Kettleson, a good one. But the ball popping in and out of the mid of Trey Swigert. No chance for what would have been a bang-bang and I think close play at 3rd. Stroop aggressively going from 1st to 3rd on the solid single to center by Gilmore. A 3-for-3 night for Xavier. And that brings to the plate Ellie Kligman with runners at the corners, 2 down. Each time the Knights have forged a lead, the Pickles have managed to come back. Down 2-0 going to the 2nd. The Pickles scored 2 to tie. The pitch on the way is hammered to right field, and here come the Pickles again. This one will short hop the fence and straight away right field. Stroop scores, rounding 3rd. Xavier Gilmore, the throw to the plate is caught by Ian Fernandez, and the tag on Gilmore. He's out at the plate, and the inning is over. The Pickles were trying to come back again and score 2 again and tie the game again. The Knights this time execute a different plan, with a great job by Cole Katayama Stahl getting the ball back in for the out at the plate to retire the side. Not before the Pickles do close within a run, but the Knights prevent the game from becoming tied yet again and maintain a 1-run lead with a new pitcher coming in as we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's going to be right-hander Tyler Tilton coming in for the Pickles. A new pitcher coming in, a pitching change, back in 2. Good ball game. The Knights 7, the Pickles 6, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Tyler Tilton into the ball game for the Portland Pickles as we go to the bottom of the 7th. A one-run affair. Tyler out of Hope International delivers a first pitch high and away to Cole Katayama's stall. Tyler back to the plate and delivers a strike. The count 1-1. Really good ball game, much better than last night's affair. Pickles fans might beg to differ, 15-7 Portland, but just in terms of some thrills and big moments, an exciting baseball game here tonight. The pitch in there for a strike to Cole Katayama stall. 7-6 Knights in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball a little bit up and away. Ball 2, 2-2. Cole's had a really good ball game and hoping to continue in that vein. He's 3 for 3. The 2-2 pitch taken just outside from Tyler Tilton. Ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Tyler, 5'11", 190. Graduate student from Redlands, California. Previously played at Chaffee Community College and now pitching for Hope International. That is a university that's a little new to me. I'm going to have to look it up. The 3-2 pitch, line down the left field line. Xavier Gilmore on the run, lays out, dives, and makes a great catch. Taking an extra base hit away from Cole Katayama stall. It would have been his 4th hit of the night. Diving grab by Xavier Gilmore in left field. One away in the bottom of the 7th. 7-6 Knights. And Antonio Castro will be the hitter. Fullerton, thank you. Hope International in Fullerton, California. The first pitch to Castro misses for ball 1, 1-0. Antonio 0 for 3. Tyler Tilton to the plate, off speed and a strike. The count 1-1. 7-6 Knights in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tilton delivers, swung on and fouled at the plate. 1-2 to Antonio Castro. Really good work by Connor Hale. Tyler Tilton, like the Knights starting pitcher tonight, who's gone all the way, Cooper Udishtu, is making his pitching debut for the Portland Pickles, with both teams using pitchers just to kind of get through the end of the regular season, rest arms, get arms healthier, get everybody ready for the postseason push, which begins Friday night. An equipment change is necessary, evidently, for the Portland Pickles. I don't know if it's catcher Ellie Kligman or what, but Antonio Castro and the home plate umpire Hudson Boucher looking into the dugout. Kligman is getting his mask began to come apart after that last foul ball. Castro is looking on smilingly. Both teams sort of having the luxury to take it rather easy tonight. It's 7-6 Knights, who would love to kind of reverse the result from an evening ago, namely a big Portland win, and get this series even. Winning's better than losing, as Trey Swigert said, kind of channeling his own inner Nuke LaLoosh earlier. But the equipment issue resolved for catcher Ellie Kligman settles back into the crouch. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Antonio swings and hits 1 foul. And noting that, he hits 1 foul into the forbidden zone, the construction zone. This is the first game all season long. So far, we're in the 7th, where we've not seen any action in Urchin Alley to my right. None. The 1-2 pitch, Castro swings and misses. Strike 3. 2 down. And Ian Fernandez, who doubled to right and scored a run in the second, as it struck out and flied to left, comes to the plate in a 1-run affair in the bottom of the 7th. One other note today, the Marlins, who have a number of players in their organization. We mentioned the 3 former Beavers playing together in Beloit in the Marlins organization: Ivar Arquette, Garrett Forster, Micah McDowell. The pitch swung out and missed by Ian Fernandez, and the 0-1 pitch swung out and missed as well, and he's quickly down in the count as Ian 0-2. Aiden May got his first win for Jupiter. Single A team for the Miami Marlins. Aiden May getting his first win at that level. Good for him. The strike 2 breaking ball in there. Strike 3 called, and the Knights go quickly, quietly in the bottom of the 7th in order. At the end of 7, and will Cooper be out there one more time? If so, what a great outing it has been for him. And it was. I think he's going to give way now to a new pitcher, and we will see a new arm coming in out of the bullpen for the Knights. As he comes in from the left field corner, we'll take a 2-minute pitching change break. At the end of 6.5, or at the end of the first 7 innings of this ball game, we go to the 8th. It remains the Knights 7 and the Pickles 6. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Inning, a 1-run ball game. Mark Carpenter, who is also making his Corvallis Knights debut. The Knights signing several pitchers here late to pick up the slack, bridge these final games into the postseason. A tremendous job by Cooper Udishtu getting the start and going 7 innings, and has a chance to get a win in his Knights debut. He's been good, and now Mark Carpenter hopes to follow in the same vein as he goes to work against Evan McGuire, who blasted a 3-run home run in the third to tie the ball game at 5. Carpenter kicks and delivers, and the freshman right-hander on his way to Lynn Benton Community College out of Klamath Falls misses high and inside, ball 1, 1-0 to McGuire. Carpenter back to the plate. The 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2, 2-0. Carpenter is from Klamath Falls, went to Henley High School, just graduated this past spring. The 2-0 pitch, a strike, the count 2-1, 6'2", 190-pounder. LB bound. And pitching for the Knights in this next to last game of the regular season. 2-1 to McGuire, who along with a home run has grounded into a double play and grounded out. The 2-1 pitch missing outside, ball 3, 3-1. 7-6 Knights, top of the 8th inning. Mark Carpenter picking up for Cooper Udichu, who was tremendous. The 3-1 pitch, a strike. The count goes full to 3-2. Braden Wooldridge on deck with Brett Williams to follow. Carpenter kicks and comes to the plate. The 3-2 fastball taken. Strike 3 called. 1 away. Evan McGuire rung up on a well-located knee-high fastball from Mark Carpenter, making his Corvallis Knights debut. Braden Wooldridge out of UC Davis, the batter. Top of the 8th, 7-6 Corvallis. Carpenter delivers and misses high with a fastball. Ball 1, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, that's in there for a strike. The 1-1 the count. 7-6 Knights in the 8th. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Wooldridge. Hit sharply to the left of Knights second baseman Thomas Ferrajaro. He grabs it in shallow right and throws to first for the out. 2 down. Brett Williams, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. Brett had an infield single in the second, scored a run when he stole home in a double steal, well executed by Zane Garvey, running from first, and Brett coming in from third. Brett has since flied to left and grounded to second. Carpenter delivers in there for a strike. Trevor Leinick hit his 15th home run of the year, looking at not only former Beavs and the minor league exploits that we were talking about with Sydney earlier tonight. Trevor Leinick, a former Beaver, has homered in back-to-back games, has 15 on the season. A fly ball to center field. Brock Kettleson moving in and under to make the catch, and Mark Carpenter impresses in his Corvallis Knights debut here in the 8th. Retires the Pickles in order. Brooks Lee went 0 for 3 in that Twins game. Larnach hit his 15th. The Twins beat Detroit 6-3. Stephen Kwan, the game-winning hit, according to Sidney Pointer, and the Guardians' 3-2 win over the New York Mets. Kwani 2 for 4. Adley went 1 for 4, and the Orioles 5-0 loss to the Phillies. Michael Conforto's woes are continuing tonight in the bottom of the 5th. Michael 0 for 2, with the Dodgers leading St. Louis at Chavez Ravine 5-2. We go to the bottom of the 8th, the Knights 7, the Pickles 6, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
health insurance doesn't have to break the bank. 80% of Oregonians received financial assistance through OregonHealthcare.gov last year, and you might qualify too. At OregonHealthcare.gov, you can explore quality health plans from trusted insurers and find one that fits your budget and your needs. Our plans are built with you in mind, so you can compare prices and benefits, no sales tactics included. We're here to get you covered, Oregon.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-6 Corvallis leading the Portland Pickles. And the first pitch to Brooks Avery, leading things off for the Knights against the right-hander Tyler Tilton, fouled straight back into the netting. I have never seen a game here in all these years, sitting outside adjacent to the McGrath family press box, where there has been no action in Urchin Alley. The strike 2 pitch taken, strike 3 called. Tyler Tilton has looked good. This may just be sort of a spot appearance on Tyler Tilton's part, but his breaking ball has looked good. And he's retired 4 straight. 1 gone. Blake Wilson, the batter. Fastball for a strike from Tilton. No balls and a strike. Really good looking stuff from this kid coming out from Hope International University in Florida. Tilton delivers high and inside on an off-speed delivery to Blake. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Blake has scored 2 runs. He has 2 hits and a walk. He's had a big night. He takes a strike and the count 1-2. Brock Kettleson on deck. 7-6 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. Tilton to the plate. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 down. 5 straight retired by Tilton and 4 consecutive strikeouts. 2 down, and Brock Kettleson, the hitter. Would love to break that up for just on principle. 4 straight punch-outs for Tyler Tilton. Brock Kettleson has been hit by a pitch, had an RBI groundout, fly to center, single to center, and scored. Tilton to the plate, in there for a strike, off speed, and he jumps ahead of Brock. No balls and a strike. Impressive. Tyler delivers. Kettleson, a fly ball to left and playable for Gilmore, who makes the catch. And the Knights go in order in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now, Mark Carpenter retired the Pickles in order in the 8th. Is he going to get a chance to get the save and save it for Cooper Udishtu? We'll see, unless Brook may have a different plan in mind now as he's approaching the home plate umpire, Hudson Boucher, and he is going to call upon a different pitcher to try to bring this ball game home. We'll find out whom in a moment. We go to the 9th, the Knights 7, the Pickles 6, back in 90. Now let's make it a 2-minute. Pardon me. We got to take care of business in a 2-minute pitching change break. Back in 2, 7-6 Knights to the 9th on the live stream and Joe Radio.
Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
The ninth inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The Knights leading the Portland Pickles by a score of 7-6. Brevin Harrison, a right-hander, will get the opportunity to try to save this one for Cooper Udishtu. Brevin is 6'2", 185-pound right-hander out of Roseburg. Went to Roseburg High School. Getting ready for his second season, staying home for his collegiate baseball experience at Umpqua Community College. He delivers a first pitch breaking ball to Luis Castillo, swung on and missed. Mark Carpenter retired the side in order last inning. And now the right-hander Brevin Harrison comes back to the plate. The strike one pitch, a chopper to third. Backhanded by Swigert, throws a strike across the diamond to get Luis Castillo. One away in the top of the ninth inning. Knights baseball brought to you by our friends at Block 15. They've been supporting Knights baseball and serving our community since 2008. 2 locations for Block 15. 3, really. This ballpark, their downtown pub at 4th and Jefferson in downtown Corvallis, and their Southtown location. Ground ball off the glove of Brevin Harrison as he raced to his right. And instead of 2 outs, nobody on, and the ball game about over, the Pickles stay very much alive with the tying run on base. A ball that it appeared Brevin Harrison was going to field on the run and just race to the bag with on his own. But the ball goes under his glove. It'll be an infield single for Kreisberg. And the batter is Zane Garvey. It looked like 2 quick outs for Brevin Harrison. But now the tying run on base on the infield squib single for Kreisberg. The pitch to Garvey, up and away, ball 1, 1-0. Zane has been hit by a pitch, grounded to second, and flied to center. Now an error is being charged by Brooks Hatch on the pitcher, Brevin Harrison. A tough error. He had a lot of turf to cover, coming quickly off the mound to his right. But when he went to scoop, the baseball came up empty. Garvey swings a one-hopper off the glove of Ferraggiaro, and everybody's safe. Well, the Pickles, they're 43-9 for a reason. They don't, you give them any life, and they take advantage of it. That'll go as a base hit, I would assume, for Zane Garvey. The ball hit hard, and now the tying run, Kreisberg at second, Garvey aboard at first. Grafton Stroop, the batter, 2 on, 1 out. Instead of 2 outs and nobody on, which what it appeared we were heading towards, the Pickles very much alive. The first pitch to Grafton Stroop, a strike, and the count 0-1. 7-6 Knights, top of the ninth inning. After 1 quick out, it appeared as though a second out was going to occur on just the third pitch of the inning. But no, first and second, 1 out. A line drive caught by Ferraggiaro. Goes to Blake Wilson at second. Double play. The ball game is over. And the Knights have evened the series with a 7-6 victory over the Portland Pickles. A double play ends it. And the Knights get back in form after their unseemly and certainly out of character loss last night. They come back in a big way tonight and win it 7-6. Thomas Ferraggiaro fittingly ends the game with a double play. He had 3 runs batted in. Cole Katayama Stahl had 3 hits, was robbed of an extra base hit late. And the Knights get a great pitching performance from Cooper Udishtu in his one and only start, gets the win. The save goes to Brevin Harrison, and strong relief work as well from Mark Carpenter. Good pitching along the way for both clubs tonight. Connor Hale and Tyler Tilton in particular for the Portland Pickles. And for whatever it may be worth, tomorrow night the Knights and Pickles will settle this series. It doesn't mean a great deal. It appears as though there's a collision course. That was the title of a Sports Illustrated cover back in the old days, getting ready for the NBA Finals in 1992. There was a collision course cover, Sports Illustrated, with Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler. And it turned out to be a big victory for the Chicago Bulls on that collision course. These two teams here in the West Coast League may be on a collision course a week from tonight. And it may not be a given that the Knights are going to Bend on Friday. Cowlitz leading Bend 7-4 as they play on at Vince Guenna Stadium in the bottom of the 7th. So tomorrow will settle a lot of things, this series and the Knights' destination in the first round of the playoffs. Do they make the quick trip up the road to Chemeketa? They will if Cowlitz comes back to win the series, and they're leading the Elks tonight 7-4 late. If Bend either wins tonight or comes back to take the decisive game tomorrow, then the Knights would open the playoff series Friday at Vince Guenna in Central Oregon. The Knights get the job done tonight. It was impressive to watch. Final score, the Knights 7 and the Portland Pickles 6. The last game of the regular season coming up tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us. And for everybody involved, for Sidney Pointer, Brian Thomas, Javon Grossman, the whole crew, Mike Parker from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Knights 7, the Pickles 6. See you tomorrow night right back here on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. So long, everybody.